SHAUN EADE Last updated 1353-2010-2017. Clive Mason Brendon Hartley will become the first Kiwi in 33 years on the starting grid of Formula One. Supplied Sunday will mark 50 years since Denny Hulme won the Formula One World Championship. Supplied Bruce McLaren died aged 32 in 1970. David Rowland Chris Amon spent 14 years in Formula One motorsport. When Brendon Hartley takes the track in the United States Grand Prix, he will become the 9th Kiwi on the starting grid in Formula One. New Zealand has a rich history in F1 thanks to its golden years in the 1960s and 70s. But since then it has been a lean spell with Mark Thackwell, 1984, the last Kiwi to start a race. Read more. Karting kid to F1 starter Hartley not very prepared. Hartley racing for more F1 drives. Hartley confirmed for F1. Hartley reveling in shift to endurance racing. The 33-year wait will come to an end on Monday NZ time when Hartley lines up for Toro Rosso. The timing of his debut could hardly fit better, with Sunday marking the 50th anniversary of New Zealander Denny Hulme winning the World Championship at the 1967 Mexican Grand Prix. Motuake, as Hulme's win still ranks among the highs of New Zealand's motorsport history. The first Kiwi in F1 was the late Bruce McLaren. He started with Cooper in 1958 and finished second in the driver's standings in 1960. He would then set up his own team, McLaren, in 1966. McLaren recorded 4 race wins before he died while testing one of his cars as a 32-year-old in 1970. Tony Shelley was the second Kiwi to start an F1 race, but he never managed to turn it into a career. He would start just one race in 1962 and did not finish due to mechanical issues. Just 1 year later, Chris Amon would step onto the scene. The man, regarded as one of New Zealand's greatest drivers, spent 14 years in F1. Many still regard him as one of the best drivers to never win a race, but he retired with 11 podium finishes to his name. Hulme's F1 career started in 1965 and continued through to 1974, the final 7 years, all with McLaren's team. Add feedback. He had 8 race wins over his career. Howden Ganley joined F1 in 1971, but by 1974 a crash left him with serious foot and ankle injuries which sparked his retirement. Graham McRae's F1 career may have a spot on the shortest in the history of the category. In 1973 he started his first and only race, which was halted on the first lap after a multi-car crash. John Nicholson also has juicy one race to his name, finishing 17th in 1975. Amon's retirement in 1976 came with the last time a Kiwi managed to register a championship point, and thanks to his 5th place finish the 1976 Spanish Grand Prix. Thackwell arrived on the scene as a 19-year-old in 1980, at the time that would have made him the youngest man to start a F1 race. He started the Canadian Grand Prix, but after a crash forced the race to be restarted. Thackwell had to give his seat up to one of the more experienced drivers in the team. He made a brief return to the class in 1984, but never managed to find regular drives. Now as Hartley joins the list of Kiwi F1 starters, his future remains wide open. He is filling in for Pierre Gasly, who will be back for the next round in Mexico, and while there is rumors he could replace Daniil Kvyat for the rest of the season, Hartley maintains no such deal has been made. Stuff.